Welcome back to another episode of First Use, and in today's episode I'm going to go through the Western Bulldogs and show you why they were so clean off the ground. I think they're the best side in this area. They're super clean, likes of Richards, you add in Treloar, Bontempelli against the Saints was heavily tagged by Windhager, but still you had the influx of players coming through. Kennedy's been a great addition. The ability just to be so clean, and it's all over the ground. It's not only the midfielders, but it's the forwards and backs. I'm going to show you some clips, mainly from the first half that set up the great win against St Kilda. But I'm just going to show you how they're able to get their hands free. So it's one, ability to get the ball, be clean below your knees, then get your hands free, and then be able to give the hands off. They won the contested footy, and they also won the uncontested footy. And I'll show you in these clips why they were so effective and the reason why this ended up setting up so many goals for their forwards. Let's get into it now. So in the game against the Saints, the Western Bulldogs won the contested footy plus 19 and the loose ball get plus 50. It was an unbelievable result, and this set up a lot of their counter-attack going forward. I'm such a big advocate for sides to be clean below their knees, and I reckon Western Bulldogs arguably is the best in the competition. The likes of, add in Bailey Dale there who's going for the ball, but you've got Ed Richards, you've got Libba, you've got Bontempelli, who was heavily tagged by Windhager, and then you've got Kennedy to add into that. These quality players are so clean below the knees, and then what that does, once they clean, they're able to set up the quick hands and their slingshot footy from behind. And so here's a loose ball to be won, and just one touch, bang, great hands, in close, get the hands again, make the right decision. No one's there, hands up. And then I love this, take the contact. Know that it's coming. Know that you've got the contact, your hands free. Libba, arms up, gets his hands free, and then they're out. It's just brilliant. It starts at the source, and a lot of people are talking about the forwards and how many goals they kicked and how good Sam Darcy was. Yes, all well and good, but it starts at the source, and there were so many goals, particularly in that first quarter, that were set up because of how clean Western Bulldogs were below their knees, in tight, in the congestion. So here's a perfect example. So the ball gets kicked from St Kilda going left the screen. It just sort of goes over the top, but you can see how clean they are off the ground. One touch. So bring the defender. So close that gap. As I've said many times in my videos, close the gap. So make the decision. Hold, and then quick hands again. So clean. And the commentators spoke about it throughout the whole night, how clean they were, as opposed to how fumbly St Kilda were. Then this goes. Then they're able to set. They've got plenty of space. They've even got receivers coming from behind, but able to then, once they get through that congestion, be able to make good decisions. That's a great kick, shot on goal. So clean, one touch below their knees. They obviously do a lot of work, and Western Bulldogs have been like this for a very long time. And the reason why this is really important is because when it comes to finals footy, and commentators on SEN have spoken about this, particularly Champion Data, it's called chaos footy. You've got to be clean below your knees, and this is what the Bulldogs do. Kennedy ends up getting caught holding the ball in this situation, but you can see how clean they are. You can see their mindset. So really in tight, Treloar, one hand. He's got this, then gets the hands, quick hands to West. And then in tight, lift their arms, lift their shoulders, get their hands free from West. And dinky little hit. Now he gets caught holding the ball, but you can see in congestion how efficient they are. They're so good, so clean below their knees, and the ability to get their hands free and get it out. This is unbelievable. So it's almost like he gets it, and he loses control of it. He bounces on the ground, and then he hand passes off. A great tag from Windhager last night. Even Bont said after the game that he did an exceptional job on him. But you see how clean, and they won the contested footy and won the uncontested footy without the assistance of Bont. So it just shows the spread of players. You add in Fraser in there as well. I've got a clip when he uses the Gaelic footy style, but this is unreal from Bont. So, goes, great set play. So I love how they isolated. Bulldogs are going left to screen. So this is a really good set play in the centre bounce. They've isolated these players back, and then the instruction was for English to hit it forward to create this one-on-one. It's a great, I love that. When you've got a tag, you set up a one-on-one. You've got defence here, which is really good, but that was a really good set play. But just watch the Bont here. Holds, keep your feet. Big thing for midfielders. You probably hear that a lot. Keep your feet in the contest. So Windhager's got him, but the ball bobbles, and watch this. He probably can't. Yeah, just the ability to then bounce it there. Bounce it. Core strength. Look at that hand pass. So wait for the defender to come at you. Even the Rock's doing it. So they do it. So it's a team ethos. The whole, not just the midfielders do this. Every player on the list works on their ground balls and in tight, and then handballs it, and then they're out. It's brilliant body work there from Bontempelli. And to think that he had a quiet night against the Saints, and you saw the strength of their ground balls. So here's a loose ball get. This is unreal. This results in a goal. Ability to chase. And then that. Yes, might be fluky or whatever, but still, it's the ability. They just learn how to create. They learn how to hold the ball. It's almost like it's like a beach ball. They see it so good. Then once he wins it, kicks inside forward 50, over the head. Norton on Wilkie. So great brute strength, but one touch. Look how close that is. Just one touch below his knees. 6'5". Loose ball. Libba of all people going for it. It's the best. One of the best. Look at that. One touch. One touch. Hands up. Look at that. Instinctive. It's because of all the training they do. One touch. This kid's played 13 games. Comes into a system where you've got to get your hands free. You've got to take that tackle. You've got to take it on. Give your hands free. It's brilliant stuff. Hands. Even look at English. Look at that. Instinctive. As soon as he gets it, arms free. And then they're out. Loose ball. This is awesome. Bailey Dale. Bang. One touch. Arms free. Bang. Bang. We're out. Awesome. So off the line too. So it's not. So this is what I'm saying. It's not only the midfielders, but it's across the whole board. All these players are drilled in to be clean below their knees, get their hands free. They do a lot of work on this. Watch this from Chalor. This is unreal. This shows you in tight, in close. So the ball's in dispute. One. Look at that. Crouches down. Bang. Out. Onto Karmas. Just superb one touch below your knees ability there from Chalor. Once again, stoppage. So there's a stoppage on the wing. Watch Richards here. This results in a goal as well. Bobbles around. Grabs it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Saints players. Takes the contact. Arms free. Again. Hand pass out. Goes down in forward 50. Goal. So you can see there from the Bulldogs how clean they were. Yes, you talk about Sam Darcy, you talk about Norton, you talk about Karmas and the forwards, but it's at the source that you've got to win it. And when sides are able to match the Western Bulldogs in this area, that's when they're able to get on top. But the Western Bulldogs are so clean below their knees. I love the way they play this style of footy, and that is finals footy in my opinion. Finals footy is chaos footy, the ability to win it below your knees. Okay, so let's go to the whiteboard, and I'll give you a few drills you can focus on to sharpen that area up in your game. So you might have seen it many times where you have player here. I've shown this drill before. The player here, and then you've got a bag there, and you've got a bag there. So the bags are coming in like this, and then this player's rolling the ball on the ground, this player's picking up, and then you just hand pass it back. So you have your line up down there. But what I want to focus on, and that's a drill to do, and then you can do handball drills. But the drill I want to focus on, so using footies obviously and stuff like that. But the drill I want you to focus on is go and get a set of tennis balls. And you might see this with a lot of clubs and a lot of players before the game where they're either juggling footies or juggling tennis balls. The reason why they do this is to sharpen up their hand-eye coordination. So think about it. If you can sharpen your eyes and focus on a tennis ball, when a footy comes to you, your eyes are so fixated and so trained on such a small object that when a ball comes, it probably feels like a beach ball. So it's similar sort of drill, so you have the coach or another player out there, and you have your line of players here, right? But whether this player has a tennis racket or a cricket bat or whatever it is, you've got to whack the tennis ball at them, right, on the ground. Right? So the focus is to get the tennis ball on the ground so you can pick up. Now you're going to stuff up. It's going to come so quick at you, but you've got to repeat it, repeat. So you can throw the ball if you want to, if you haven't got access to a tennis racket or cricket ball, but throw, not a cricket ball, a cricket bat, but throw the tennis ball on the ground, throw the tennis ball. And the players are going to stuff up. They might get it, they might not, but they get the technique right to get your hip from forward, go with two hands. So do this for a period of time, then add in the real balls, and you'll see what happens. You'll see that once they start getting the technique right with the tennis ball, when you add in the footy, it'll become really, really important. They'll see it like a beach ball. They'll get the technique right, and they'll be able to. It's all about hand-eye coordination. It's one of the drills I really love. You can set up in many ways. You can do it as a handball game as well, about getting your position right, throwing the tennis ball and stuff like that. But once you focus on working with the tennis ball, you hone in on that. The players hone in that visual aspect. As soon as they start seeing the footy, it will actually look like a beach ball, and they'll start getting their timing right. And so Western Bulldogs, I love the way they play in and under, get their hands free, ability to be clean below the knees. That is chaos footy. You've got to have that in your game. That is, and then things unfold. And you saw that when they played against St Kilda. They were able to win at the source. I reckon there was 4 or 5 goals that were created because they were clean below their knees, clean in and under, and it was just awesome to watch. Really well drilled. Great. It's a great method to have, especially to play finals footy. So well done the Western Bulldogs. I just love watching them play. If there's one area you need to have really sharp in your team, if you're a coach or if you're a player, is to be clean below your knees.